Hi, I'm Mo PINEL, and this is Bowling Science. Mo PINEL here. I have been designing bowling balls in this industry since the mid-'80s. And every once in a while, something special happens. Well, that's happening again. I've been fortunate in my career to have had three what I would call game changers or Hall of Fame bowling balls. In 1991, the industry got to see the AMF Sumo, which was a design that I had done for them originally. And that was the first successful flaring ball. And my second ball that I would consider to be a game changer was the 3D offset I did for Hammer in 1996. The 3D offset should not have to be explained to anybody. It changed the way balls were designed and the way the game was played. Well, I'm here to tell you that we now have a third game changer. The third game changer will be the Radical Results bowling ball. It starts a new category of bowling balls that have never been produced before. In April of 2018, the USBC announced that we would no longer be able to use balance holes, and that triggered this process. Well, what did that mean to everybody? Well, it was very simple. We used to be able to blow up the intermediate and total diff of the drilled ball by the use of strategically placed balance holes. This project began with us taking some of our strong asymmetrical balls with double thumb balance holes in them and doing the CAD work to find out what were the intermediate and total diffs of those drilled balls, which were quite high. And then the project was, how do we make a bowling ball that will produce those numbers without a balance hole and generate the proper inertia tensors to get the ball motion to be as strong as we need it to be? Well, we worked on that since April of 18, and what you're seeing now is the result of that project. Cool word, results. We at Radical have established three categories of bowling balls. The first category is called true symmetric. Those are symmetrical bowling balls like they've been all forever, and just follow the USBC's definition of what is symmetrical. We have been doing what we call moderate asymmetrics, which are asymmetrical balls with intermediate diffs between 0.011 and 0.022. But this time, as we did the definition before, we now have the strong asymmetric category, which has never been done before. In order to clarify the strong asymmetric category, it requires two properties in order to be considered a strong asymmetric according to our definition. Number one, the intermediate diff of the undrilled ball has to be at least half of the total diff of the undrilled ball, and the intermediate diff of the undrilled ball has to exceed 0.022. Core shape determines ball motion. So it's not only the numbers, it's the core shape. And you'll see the picture of the core shape with the dynamic core, outer core, and you will notice that it has long lever arms. We call them inertia tensors. The nose is quite long, and so are the projections on the axis that's 90 degrees to the nose. The sum of those projections will generate the inertia tensors that enable the ball to have the motion potential that we're looking for. So that's what you'll see. Just take a look at the picture so you understand what's going on. Balls are constructed of cores and cover stocks. Each one of them has its own role. The core is used to create the motion potential of the ball as the ball goes down the lane. Layouts are what modifies the core design. And we have 5 layouts for the strong asymmetrical ball. Using the proper layout with the design of the ball will give you the motion you're looking for. And then the cover stock comes into play. The cover stock's job is to slow the ball down as it goes down the lane so that the ball will go through the pins properly and create great pin carry. Cover stocks has very little to do with the shape of the ball motion, but it does affect when the ball slows down and when it reads the lane. For a bowling ball to strike, it must slow down. Keep that in mind. So what we're saying about the cover stock is the cover stock's job is to be the tire. It's the tire on the car. The car obviously is the ball with the core design. And the purpose of the tire is to get the ball to slow down as it approaches the break point and it transitions through the skid, hook, and roll phases properly to give you area to the pocket, and most of all, to go through the pins properly to maximize your pin carry. Bowling today is not about how accurate you are, it's about how much motion you can generate and how many times you can strike, because strike percentage is the key to the modern game. Let's talk about the cover of results. The cover of the results is textured pearl, TP1. But the new thing about it is that the textured pearl is in both the colors. So what does textured pearl do for you? It means that when you decide to change the surface texture, as you have been shown on Bowling Science, you will get bigger changes in ball motion and the total amount of hook. So it's a much more versatile ball with the textured pearl cover, with the strong asymmetric core, and that's how you find out what results is all about. Let's start with the strong layout. And with Mikey's axis point, that is a 50 by 4 by 20 layout. That's because Mikey's axis point is 3 5/8 over by 5/8 up. And he has got between 17 and 19 degrees of tilt. What is the strong asymmetric layout going to give us? It's going to give us push through the front part of the lane and then a strong motion as the ball slows down and goes through the pins hard. So we can use it on house patterns. We have the results also drilled 90 by 1 1/4 by 45. This is a short pin layout. And the purpose of this is allow you to play straighter through the front, stay further right longer, but still have the ball with the big hit at the pins. And you'll notice how strong the ball goes through the pins for the amount of hook you're actually throwing. So that's what you're going to see with the short pin layout. Our third layout is a 10 by 4.5 by 30 for Mikey's axis point, and that is our early revving layout. Now, you want to use this layout when you don't want a wet-dry reaction, because you know how house patterns get cliffed sometimes. Well, when the cliff is big, you use this layout because this ball will roll up in the mid lane, roll forward sooner, but destroy the pins on the back end. So this is for wet-dry house patterns when your strong layout hooks too much in the dry, and when you move into the oil, it doesn't have enough hook. So when you've got that over-under reaction, you go to this layout. We call it the early revving layout, and it's 10 by 4.5 by 30 with Mikey's axis point. See how that one rolls.
Mikey Dread here. I want to thank Mo PINEL, my dad, and Radical Bowling Technologies for making this possible. It was an awesome opportunity to be able to display the results for you all. We will have a follow-up episode showing the results on a sport pattern and digging more into the technical specs of what makes this ball special. As always, like and subscribe if you like what you see, and when the results drops on March 5th, go out there and throw some strikes for yourself.